Well, I know that Uganda made the first diagnosis, clinical diagnosis of an HIV and AIDS patient in 1982. It was one of the colleagues called Dr. Andrew Rwegava back in Kalisizo Hospital in Chotera. Although before that, there are anecdotal descriptions of people who had lived and died of symptoms that when one looks back, they could have been related to HIV and AIDS. 1986 makes a very significant landmark because Uganda sent to Cuba soldiers for training, 60 soldiers for training. And Cuba had a policy for mandatory testing of anybody entering their country. And when they tested them, 18 of them were HIV positive. You know, that was about 30%. And what happened then is that the Cuban president immediately informed our head of state. Of course, that being a security issue, government took this up and ensured that a campaign had to be mounted. And then Uganda mounted the ABC campaign, abstinence, being faithful, and condom use. And that campaign went on. It was the mainstay because a lot of our people at that time couldn't access treatment. It was out of reach and it wasn't affordable. Certainly, there have been lots of changes, you know, along that milestone. From the time of ABC to now creation, Uganda formed itself into campaign teams, activists. We've certainly made lots of progress. Early 2000, the antiretroviral therapy became available, but we've had more efficacious medication, you know, being manufactured since then. And people can take as a single pill per day. You can imagine from 20 pills a day to a single pill per day, less side effects, much, much cheaper. There's research going on actually about long-acting antiretroviral therapy that would be given through an injection. There's advanced research in several countries, including Uganda. It has many advantages. One is that you don't have to take the pill every day. But two, it addresses the question of stigma and discrimination. Understanding our history is very, very important because if any man or woman does not learn, we learn from the past, we learn from our experiences for us to be able to protect ourselves. So we know that the young people now were not alive in the 80s, they were not alive in the 90s. So when they look at history, when they listen to the stories, and when they remember that, you know, a few years back, HIV was a real problem, was a threat, you know, to our growth, to the young people, then they will take more precautions. So we think that this is a great effort, intervention in reminding Uganda's population that the problem of HIV is still with us, but also especially now, COVID has taken a lot of space. You know, the COVID emergency, once it came, there's a lot of attention to it. And this documentary will help remind Ugandans that let's not forget that there are other problems, other health problems like HIV, and ensure that, you know, they remember and protect themselves.